Wow, remarkable people. Exactly. Wow, they couldn't wait. Dispatch is a remarkable dispatch, and of course, dispatch and dispatch. Oh, don't even get me started, right? Of course. 10 things you didn't know about orgasm. Mary Roach. Let's spark up that roach and let's begin. Unmixable talks. Free to the world. Tech Ed.
All right.
Oh, so fashionable. Look at that big red bloodbath to go around with the red. Yay!
I'm going to show you a couple of images from a very diverting paper in the Journal of Ultrasound in Medicine. I'm going to go way out on a limb
Diverting paper.
and say that it is the most diverting paper ever published in the Journal of Ultrasound in Medicine. The title is Observations of In Utero Masturbation.
Wow! Observations of in utero masturbation. Image worship. In utero, who knew?
Okay, now on the left, you can see the hand, that's the big arrow, and the penis on the right, the hand hovering. And over here we have, in the words of radiologist Israel Meisner, the hand grasping the penis in a fashion resembling masturbation movements.
Resembling. Well, okay. Who knew that there is a person, right, squished inside another person, and they're just like, oh, just smashed, smashed and smashed. So who knew that their hands would inevitably, wow, come to, grasp their penis? But somehow that means they're masturbating. Yay!
Bear in mind, this was an ultrasound, so it would have been moving images. And orgasm is a reflex of the autonomic nervous.
So just because he might have been pulling and wanking it, okay, so babies when they don't they just you give them your little finger and they just hold on to it. And they hold on to it so tight and this and that. So why wouldn't they do that to their little penis if they're a boy? In utero. Doesn't mean they're masturbating. No, not at all. But this person immediately wants you to believe that. Wow, who knew?
Nervous system. Now this is the part of the nervous system that deals with the things that we don't consciously control, like digestion, heart rate, and sexual arousal.
Wow. Whoa, so you don't need genitals to orgasm. But she just said, so it's controlled by the bash nervous, and that controls breathing, this, that, the other.
Autonomic nervous system. Now this is images, and orgasm is a reflex of the
orgasm is a reflex of the bash
autonomic nervous system. Now this is the part of the nervous system that deals with the things that we don't consciously control, like digestion, heart rate, and sexual arousal. And the orgasm reflex can be triggered by a surprisingly broad range of input. Genital stimulation, duh. But also, Kinsey interviewed a woman who could be brought to orgasm by having someone stroke her eyebrow.
She couldn't wait to drop that name. Kinsey. Yes, Kinsey. Right? The pioneer of all sexual liberation. This and that and this and this and that and this and this and that. Normalizing, yes, child masturbation, orgasm. How many times can a child masturbate? Orgasm. And they had the tactics used and this, who knew, right? Oh, it was humane. It was all humane. The child asked for it himself, so we just obliged. Wow, what is going on? But she just dropped him. Well, Kinsey had this one woman.
People with spinal cord injuries, like paraplegias, quadriplegias, will often develop a very, very sensitive area right above the level of their injury, wherever that is. There's such a thing as a knee orgasm in the literature. I think the most...
Right, knee orgasm. Like Jerry Seinfeld made a bash episode, right? The knee maneuver. You could just somehow, whoa, this and the other.
The most curious one that I came across was it was a case report of a woman who had an orgasm every time she brushed her teeth. This was something in the complex sensory motor action of brushing her teeth was triggering orgasm, and she went to a neurologist who was fascinated, and he checked to see if it was something in the toothpaste, but no, it happened with any brand. They stimulated her gums with a toothpick to see if that was doing it. No.
Right. So who knew that they're doing it to gums and this? But I mean, all these tests, all these apparent tests and studies and this. Wow. Who were they done on? Yes, people like that person that went voluntarily in, thinking that there was something, and that we'll just run some tests. And that was just about in her mouth. What about people that say, oh, my head. Oh, don't worry. We'll just probe your head. Don't worry. We'll make you better. Just smashed. Or not even like that. For what was going on in World War One, World War Two, you don't know. It's like, oh, who knows? But so many people died. Right. And what happened to all the research that happened in between and during the wars? No, nobody knows. Oh, of course. Nobody told anyone, right? And it's just top secret, now unsecret, but then we have WikiLeaks, and oh, yes, thank you, WikiLeaks, thanks. No, nothing. All half-baked, half-truths, and this, and bash, nothing. Anything to keep you from seeing and living in the refuge of truth. Yes, amen. But not in man's truth. No. Not in man's wisdom. No. Not through man's rubbing his bean and rubbing the beans of others and this. No. For what is life? You won't even ask because you boast in knowing what it is. So therefore you don't even have to even think about it. All you have to do now is just relentlessly do and act. Yes, the relentless actor.
Nope. It was the whole, motion. And the amazing thing to me is that you would think this woman would have excellent oral hygiene.
Right, because everybody just thinks that way now. Everybody just thinks it's all about rubbing that bean. Wow. And she's like, "Well, you think she'd have excellent hygiene? Because I can't wait to just rub mine." So, projection. Who knew?
Sadly, this is what it said in the journal paper. She believed that she was possessed by demons and switched to mouthwash for her oral.
Oh, so she couldn't wait to just say, oh, tragically, she believed herself to be possessed by demons and this and that and that and that. Wow. So what about all the people that claim that they've been abducted by aliens and relentlessly probed and masturbated and carved out and harvested for their biological fluids, right? And this and that and people who make fun of Dr. Strangelove and this and say, yeah, that general was crazy. He kept talking about his sacred bodily fluids and how they were just wanted to smash them and this and that and this. And of course, they had to make it a general, right? That he in power, with the power to kill, right, is the apparent one that's obsessed with the bodily fluids. Wow. So, what exactly are you talking about there, Rouch? Because what is going on? Are you boasting about how much how it's just so scientific to just blast off? And you're like, of course, because that's the point of life, to just rub that bean until you just find the tree of life. And this, because surely rubbing that bean is the tree of life. And this and that and this and this. Wow, doesn't this profile look like a Viking? Yes. The D'Artagnan goatee here. The amazing locks. Yes. And the scarf to go. All is missing is the hat. But of course, today, this actor is Dr. Roach.
Care. It's so sad. um,
Oh,
I
so
interviewed
sad.
when I
Right,
was
so
working on.
again, the demons immediately. Oh, so sad. But what about the aliens? Why didn't you use an example about the aliens? Hmm? Where she said, oh, sadly, she believed that she was just being controlled by aliens, and she just turned to locally grown baking soda, locally harvested baking soda, and just used that for the rest of her life. This, and that. Mouthwash. But no, she had to use the one about demons to somehow say, see, oppression, oppression, oppression. That religion doesn't want you to know the knowledge of your being. You just have to friction that bean, and like the genie bottle, something comes out and just gives you whatever you want to see. The unicorn store. Who knew? And all this, and that, and the worship of the light, and this, and wow. All of a sudden, you have some person boasting about.
On the book, I interviewed a woman who can think herself to orgasm.
Exactly. She wants you to think yourself into oblivion. Because who knew you don't even need genitals to orgasm? People, you can just relentlessly be in orgasm mode. Yes, get your tickets here. Just 3 easy payments of the next 3 generations. Yes. This and that and this and that and that and this and this and that. And all of a sudden, you're just frictioning and just in the oblivion. Wow, who knew? Go into talks about this to just somehow feel more justified in doing as you willed.
She was part of a study at Rutgers University. Gotta love that, Rutgers. And so and I interviewed her in Oakland in a sushi restaurant. And I said, so could you do it right here? And she said, yeah, but I'd rather finish my meal if you don't mind.
See, this person just relentlessly, hey, can you do it? Can I touch it? Can I see it? Can I see it? Hey, is it really true? Hey, how about you doing it right now? The person's like, are you like some creep? What are you doing? Oh, I guess, yeah, I'll let you finish your meal. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But afterwards, she was kind enough to demonstrate on a bench outside. It was remarkable. It took about 1 minute. And I said to her, are you just doing this all the time?
See, again, why is she? I mean, who would include that joke twice? And it's probably 3 or 4 times now. Who bashes counting? But why is it part of her little show to just drive it in about like, don't you guys just all masturbate like incessantly? And everyone's like, oh, of course, we're just all masturbators. Yes. Frictioning into the oblivion. And so this person wants to say, yeah, wow, who knew? So guys, go out there and do it more. Because all of them, if they all just raise their hands and see how many of all, they were all masturbators, right? Already. So what about your bash, enlightened research is actually going to change anything? Nope. It's just justifying what is over and over again with refurbished ways of image to worship, so that you feel then more at apparent ease about doing as thou wilt. In many cases, even empowered to pursue and go even further into what you are already doing and worshiping. So none of what this bash is saying is enlightening at all.
She said, no, honestly, when I get home, I'm usually too tired.
Jokes, because who knew that a woman
that the last time she had done it
says that
was
all the time. Oh no, I'm just too tired. This and that. I mean, that's the relentless joke, isn't it?
Disneyland tram.
Right. Oh, she couldn't wait to drop that too. The last time she did it was in the Disneyland tram. The tram sham to the wham of a slam in your face. See, this person probably just loves to just get tickled and tickle others. Wow, yeah, amazing. Tickle sports. Tickle Olympics. Yay! The relentless cuddle puddle, and see what happens. See what we can study and cook up next. All just to justify the depravity and the false love everyone is just dishing out left, right, and center and blast somehow inward. No. What a shame.
I don't know. The headquarters for orgasm along the spinal nerve is something called the sacral nerve root, which is back here. And if you stimulate with an electrode the precise spot,
you can have them when you're dead. Ooh, right? Creepy. Right? Makes a whole new meaning to necrophilia. Right? And bestiality and this and this and this. Right? Because who knew that you'll say, oh, if you could, wow, if somebody's dead and they ejaculate, what does that mean? And this and that, see, and this, necromancy. Right? Just slicing and dicing and just everything to do with, what you call the medicine today, allopathy, or whatever you bash call it. Who knew? It's just with the same thing you say about the Bible, for example, is the same for your medicine. Because everyone will boast and say, oh, you know how many times the Bible has been added to and taken away and this and that just to keep people in line? Go ahead and believe that. Yet, if somebody said that about medicine, wow, you'd lose your mind. You'd lose your mind because you already lost it. But somehow you just have it entrained and cooked up to just keep focused on that one thing that you call, well, fact, and just proven. Experiment, study, research, yes, this and that, and this and that, and this and this and that. Yet everyone's still sick. There's no cures. Nothing. Just false hope, and just fear of more disease. Just pending doom. Everybody's getting sicker, fatter, unhealthier. Somehow it's your fault, and this, and that, and this, that. So who knew you're relentlessly dealing with a narcissist? The narcissist mentality that does not give a damn what you think. You're always never good enough. And this, and that, and everybody's just out there trying to better themselves and shape-shift themselves into somehow being accepted. Wow. it couldn't be. Just tell me how more I can orgasm. Please tell me. I just want to escape. Who know you're being choked out, right? By the bloodbath in your own hand. By your own hand. Through your own hand, but all you abdicate that and you say, no, it's just weird. It's this guy's fault. It's slavery's fault. It's oppression. It's capitalism. It's money. It's this, that. What? Lost. For who knew all of the things you could come up with to say that that's it? Who knew it's just one of the swarm ways of the ocean you've surrounded yourself, all by thinking yourself just alone and adrift in the blast of what you call life. It's just a mystery to you. Wow, life is just so mysterious, and hopefully we'll get contacted by our galactic buddies sometime soon, because disclosure is coming soon. And all the military whistleblowers and this and that and the relentless WikiLeaks and whoa. No, wow, what a shame. What do you see? If not just a relentless mockery of what it is that you're trying to accomplish and it being smashed away from you day in, day out. But somehow you say, okay, I'll just put it back together this time and hopefully it'll stick better. Smashed.
Will trigger an orgasm. And it is in fact that you can trigger spinal reflexes in dead people. A certain kind of dead person, a beating heart cadaver, and this is
a beating heart cadaver, everyone. Not a dead person, like, just dead, like cold. No, a beating heart. Because then you get into right? The people that just carve out their babies out of them relentlessly. So they're like, no, it's all alive, so I'll just carve it out. So wow, a heart beating cadaver, right? It's just some dead guy. It's just a dead guy, right? He's dead. He's no brain activity. He's dead. He's just dead. He's being kept alive by machines. He's just oxygenating his blood and this and that and this.
This is somebody who is brain dead, legally dead, definitely checked out, but
definitely checked out, really. So they went into the Bosch guy's, soul and then said, oh yeah, there's nothing in here. Okay, guys, bring in the demolishing crew. Bring in the crew. Bring in the cleanup crew. You know what to do. No.
Is being kept alive on a respirator so that their organs will be oxygenated for transplantation. Now, in one of these brain dead people, if you trigger the right spot, you will see something every now and then. It's a reflex called the Lazarus reflex, and I'll demonstrate as best I can, not being dead. It's like this: you trigger the spot, the dead guy or gal goes like that. Very unsettling for people working in pathology labs.
Right, very unsettling. Wow, they'll just cross their arms in front of their chest. Wow, who knew? If you stimulate some vagus nerve and this and this and that. And what about the pugilistic, position when somebody's burned to death? And this and this and that and this and this, or when somebody's hung, short drop, long drop, this and that, right? Drowning, this and that, every single thing. Somehow you'll just find something. Oh, it's a mystery that somehow you'll say, oh, I have the solution to it. And now she's gonna say, well, if you can evoke that, if you could stimulate the nerve and you have that Lazarus response, reflex, whatever, you can surely do it to the orgasm. Yes.
Now, if you can trigger the Lazarus reflex in a dead person, why not the orgasm reflex?
Yeah, why not? I mean, this person is just talking like, hey guys, just dig up all the dead and just try all these tricks on them. Come on. Just this, that, just see what works and just smash it. Again, World War I, World War II. During and in between the wars, what's going on, and what was implemented after to what you called the New World, the reset. Oh, no, 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 it couldn't be. It was just Bashhood. We've always been at war with each other, and this and that and this, and there's nothing different, blah, blah. So you admit there's nothing new under the sun, but somehow you're cooking up something new under the sun, right? Wow. What a shame.
I asked this question to a brain death expert, Stephanie Mann, who was foolish enough to return my emails. I said, so could you conceivably, trigger an orgasm in a dead person? And she said, yes, if the sacral nerve is being oxygenated, you conceivably could.
Well, she's like, you can see nervous hands. Oh, I can't wait, please, let me do it, me, pick me.
Obviously, it wouldn't be as much fun for the person. But
because for her, yes, it would. She just could not wait to just go out and stimulate that being or that nerve, whatever, right?
It would be an orgasm.
All in the name of science.
Nonetheless, I actually suggested there's a researcher at the University of Alabama who does orgasm research, and I said to her, you should do an experiment. You can get cadavers if you work in a university. I said, you should actually do that.
Exactly. You can get cadavers if you work or study in a university. Wow, who knew? So everybody will bash anecdote what they couldn't wait to just bash and say, "Oh, anecdote. No, shut up. It's just anecdotal. You don't know nothing. You don't know a thing." And this and that. Give me facts and science, buddy. I don't want to hear your anecdotal bash, this and that. Okay, so who knew everybody was an anecdote? And everything that they have to say is anecdotal. So what is going on, right? They worship little tiny numbers and little bar graphs and pies. They just so that they can have that to tell them what it is. And then they'll fight and argue with each other, all because they're all blind and they cannot see for themselves. No. So what is going on? And who knew that all these little abstract and papers and conclusions and theories and hypotheses and this and that and this and this are all based on what? The studies and interpretations and were fitting the situation. Numbers that will suit a particular way something will be spun. Right? Because you say, oh, science is just how we can come to understand the natural world, the phenomena that we see through experiment and observation and this and having it being replicable and this and falsifiable and this and this. If something else comes better and this, then replaces that and this and blah blah. It's just a relentless block building Lego land. What a shame when everything's just fine tuned and you're just blind and trying to cook up something in the dark. Wow, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it's all just a surprise to you, and then you're like, wow, but then somehow it allows you to just keep doing what you're doing and just keep posting. Wow.
Do this. She said, you get the Human Subjects Review Board approval for this one. According to 1930s marriage...
And she's like, well, yeah, I'll get the approval, no problem. What, is it somehow, a relentless, marathon to get cadavers? What is going on?
Manual author Theodore van de Velde, a slight seminal odor can be detected on the breath of a woman within about an hour after sexual intercourse. Theodore van de Velde was something of a semen connoisseur. This is a guy
right, who knew?
Writing a book, Ideal Marriage, very heavy hetero guy. But he wrote in this book, Ideal Marriage, he said that he could differentiate between the semen of a young man, which he said had a fresh, exhilarating smell.
A fresh man. So how many fresh men semen did that person sniff or smell, apparently? Waft. Or this or this or the other, this or this or the other. What is going on? And you say, oh, no, 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 no. It's just fun. It's just all in the name of science and progress. Yes, all the little tiny, teeny little studies and graphs and things that we have all been so ethical. All of them. All of them. And sure, there's the bad apples, but listen, no, you just have to see the overall use of it now. We can use this information to somehow, you guys did smash. For who knew that what you see and interpret as, non anecdotal and fact or somehow reliable is all based on trauma, traumatizing you to just believing in something that you know is wrong. Who knew?
And the semen of mature men whose semen smelled, quote, remarkably like that of the flowers of the Spanish chestnut, sometimes quite freshly floral, and then again sometimes extremely pungent.
Oh, she finds it so fascinating. Whoa! So if this were a different, study based on some man sniffing vaginas, the vagina of a young lady smells of this, and the vagina of a old hag smells like this and that and this. What is going on? People would not be laughing about that, would they? Certainly not with the mentality of today. And for that matter, why would it be okay? Exactly, you don't even know why it would be okay. But apparently it's okay when you're talking about this semen sniffer. Ha 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 ha.
Okay, in 1999, in the state of Israel, a man began hiccuping. And this was one of those cases. It went on and on. He tried everything his friends suggested. Nothing seemed to help. Days went by. At a certain point, the man, still hiccuping, had sex with his wife. And lo and behold, the hiccups went away. And he told his doctor, who published a case report in a Canadian medical journal under the title, Sexual Intercourse is a Potential Treatment for Intractable Hiccups. I love this article because at a certain point they suggested that unattached hiccupers could try masturbation.
Right, so he made a report, right? And wow, he published it. Sexual intercourse could be a remedy for retractless hiccups or whatever the bash she said. Unretracted. Whatever, who gives a bash? But wow. So they're just making all these, wow, it could be this, could be that. So who knew it was just filled with could be this, could be that, could be this, but it could be not that and this and that. And all of a sudden this one fits better, so it could be now this and not that now and this and that, this. All while just, denying what is. What is going on?
I love that because there's like a whole demographic, unattached hiccupers. No, married, single, unattached hiccupper.
Unattached.
In the 1900s, early 1900s, gynecologists, a lot of gynecologists, believed that when a woman has an orgasm, the contractions serve to suck the semen up through the cervix and sort of deliver it really quickly to the egg, thereby upping the odds of conception. It was called the upsuck theory.
It's called the upsuck because they believe that it upsucked, so somehow it's called the upsuck. So who knew science is filled with all these bash, laughable things. Not just this example. But you say, wow, so back in the whatever 1600s, whoever, it could be yesterday, but wow, you present that as somehow just so primitive, right? That's primitive knowledge. So, yet they knew somehow that the eggs and this and this and that and this. What is going on?
And if you go all the way back to Hippocrates, physicians believed that orgasm in women was not just helpful for conception, but necessary. You would have the doctors back then were routinely telling men the importance.
Doctors. Didn't you just say physicians? Or whatever the bash you said.
Of pleasuring their wives. Marriage manual author and semen sniffer Theodore Van de Velde has a line in his book. I love this guy. I got a lot of mileage out of Theodore Van de Velde. He had this line in his book that supposedly comes from the Habsburg monarchy, where there was an Empress Maria Theresa who was having trouble conceiving, and apparently the royal court physician said to her, "I am of the opinion that the vulva of your most sacred majesty be titillated for some time prior to intercourse." It's apparently, I don't know, on the record somewhere. Masters and Johnson, now we're moving forward to the 1950s. Masters and Johnson were upsuck skeptics, which is also really fun to say.
So
they didn't buy it. And they decided, being Masters and Johnson, that they would get to the bottom of it. They brought women into the lab, I think it was 5 women, and outfitted them with cervical caps containing artificial semen. And in the artificial semen was a radio-opaque substance such that it would show up on an X-ray. Just amazing. This is the 1950s. Anyway, these women...
Whoa, and she's like, whoa, this is the 1950s. This is amazing. Right, so 1950, right after World War II. So if that one study surprises this person and says, wow, this is the 1950s. Wow, who knew? Right? So why would they even testing these things? Right? If somehow it's so since the monarchies it was somehow always known and this and that and this and that. But we had the skeptics, so the skeptics went out to just bash it. The Mythbusters of the 1950s who knew and this and that and that and this and this. So exactly, there's nothing new under the sun. Just the way you think, you're buying it all again. In refurbished, repackaged, shifted ways. Who knew?
Sat in front of an X-ray device and they masturbated, and the Masters and Johnson looked to see if the semen was being sucked up. Did not find any evidence of upsuck. You may be wondering, how do you...
So five women, and then therefore it does not happen. Does not occur. Fine, it doesn't, or it does, but who gives a bash? Just the 5 women just proved it just didn't work. 1950 study, now proven, now fact, right? And this and this and that. So who knew that? I mean, all these studies that people would just make reference to today, based on bash from, wow, just a few generations back. Who knew?
You make artificial semen. I have an answer for you.
She had to segue. How do you make artificial semen, right? Because five women, she said in that study. Wow, and people make a fuss about, a study only with 250 people nowadays. They're like, no, we would need bigger samples, longer time. Bigger samples, longer time, more variables, this and that, more controls, this and that, blah, 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 right? Implying, it's just, wow, just relentless. But apparently, you're like, shut up, don't give me your anecdotal evidence. Give me fact and reason out of all the relentless relative reasons and facts that you'll just give me, but it doesn't matter. Just give me one of them instead of some anecdotal thing that we all are doing. So it doesn't even matter because we're all blind. So therefore I require you to just regurgitate some number that I can make reference or somehow bash and win the argument. Wow, what a shame. People have just denied their own lives, right? And bashing and saying, no, I want facts. I want statistics. I want numbers. Come on, buddy. Give me some facts and numbers, buddy. Otherwise, it's just anecdotal. Doesn't mean a thing. Exactly. They're negating their own life because they're just an anecdote themselves. They're just a vapor, right? And they deny that they're the witness in the living, right? In the fleshly encompassing vessel that they can come to relentlessly slice and dice and come to categorize and name and relentlessly hide behind and put mask upon mask upon mask so that you can be worshipped for all your glory as you blaze in a cinder and then rise above like the phoenix from the ashes. No. What a shame.
I have two answers. You can use flour and water or cornstarch and water. I actually found 3 separate recipes in the literature. My favorite being the one that says, they have the ingredients listed, and then,
this
in
is
a
like
recipe
a
it'll say,
stand-up
for example,
this is stand-up. This is stand-up. It's just hilarious because this is clearly, I mean, her day job should be comedy, not her bash research, because her bash research is and has always been the name of the game. Abuse. And it doesn't matter. It's just warm ways of abuse. In this sense, it's abuse of the flesh, right? Just wasting away friction and friction until you have just the raw nub. And you're like, well, I'll just rub my forehead and brush my teeth relentless and just rub my nipples until I orgasm because I just wore out the other one. I stretched it out, I pulled it, just ripped it, this and that, and just had to get it replaced and that, sewn back together, and this, that, blah, blah, blah. And I got some chlamydia, and I got some gonorrhea, and a little bit of this, and herpes, but no, I don't know, but who knows, and blah, 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 right? But it just feels so good, and I just want it so much, and so bad, and blah, blah, blah. I love it. I love it, and I just want just to feel, how thrilling and the excitement of just doing it with strangers and this. Wow. See, everyone just wants to just somehow be exhilarated. Right? And this person is telling you, wow, look at how exhilarating it is.
Example, yield 2 dozen cupcakes. This one said yield 1 ejaculate.
Yield. Yeah, because everything is just in yield and nutrition value and this and this and that and percents of that and daily percentage required. Wow, who knew? So how much semen are you getting? Are you getting your daily dose of semen there, Dr. Roach? Are you? Doesn't look like you are. Maybe you should check the guidelines from the relentless doctors you worship and just say, I haven't, so I should just go guzzle it down from any willing volunteer. I can show you the techniques to just do it without even touching you. Wow, what a shame.
Another way that orgasm might boost fertility, this one involves men. Sperm that sit around in the body for a week or more start to develop abnormalities that make them less effective at headbanging their way into the egg. British sexologist Roy Levin has speculated...
See, just belittling the whole process. What's entailed. Oh, but the one that just headbangs its way through. Ha 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 ha. No, you're headbanging your way through this presentation. For you have no clue. And it's just like throwing a hard-boiled cooked egg against some cold cement slab. And that's what you're doing.
This is perhaps why men evolved to be such enthusiastic and frequent masturbators. He said, if I keep tossing myself off, I get fresh sperm being made. Which I
tossing, she couldn't wait.
That was an interesting theory. So now you have an evolutionary excuse.
Oh, see, she couldn't wait. She's like, guys, I'm giving you gold. I'm giving you gold to go out there and just smash even harder. Right? Because she says, wow, there goes out there. I mean, chase it, guys. I'm giving it to you. It's a freebie. I'm giving you a bone.
Okay.
What about wet dreams in this and this? Why won't you talk about that, Bash? You won't. Because, fine, after 5 days, if a man doesn't orgasm, somehow his sperm become just retarded? No. Somehow this person will say, yes, the way the headbang just changes and somehow abnormality. And what is a wet dream? And what is the liver? And what are the kidneys? And what are the lymph? And what is the body? How is it all just filtering itself? And what of the blood? And what of the supposed, DNA correctors that prevent it from becoming abnormal? Oh, no, not that. No, just the headbanging part. So that's why you can just go and jerk off as much as you want just so you have just the best, freshest, newest sperm. No, what a shame. I mean, this person is bashed. What are they saying? This presentation should have been called excuses to keep masturbating and keeping you in that worship. Wow, who knew? And in the worship of lust, and semen sniffing, and vagina stimulation of relentless sorts, just because somehow it could be this, but it could be that, but somehow you can stimulate the dead and the undead and the just not born yet, and somehow it's just all the same thing. No. What a shame.
Alrighty. There is considerable evidence for upsuck in the animal kingdom. Pigs, for instance, in Denmark.
Wow, so upsuck somehow is true, but apparently to the humans, those 5 women prove that it's not. Amazing. All because women couldn't wait to disattach herself from the birthing process altogether. And she couldn't wait to start by saying, nope, my orgasm is just for myself. And convincing man that his orgasm is just for himself too, somehow. No, because for the man it's clear what his orgasm is for. But somehow both men and women have convinced themselves that their orgasms are just for themselves. And for themselves and themselves and themselves. Wow! Forgot what becoming one flesh is in union, in marriage, in worship of the Creator, in love, in refuge of truth. Well, no, right? It couldn't be. No.
Danish National Committee for Pig Production found out that if you sexually stimulate a sow while you artificially inseminate her, you will see a 6% increase in the farrowing rate, which is the number of piglets produced.
The farrowing rate, right? Just relentlessly stimulate that pig and just inseminate her. Yes. Are you talking about people's wives or?
So they came up with this plan, this 5-point stimulation plan for the sows. And they had the farmers, there's posters they put in the barn, and they had a DVD, and I got a copy of this DVD.
Exactly. This person is the most excited about just defilement.
This is my unveiling because
Because why do you need to artificially inseminate any animal? Don't animals do it themselves? You say, well, yeah, but for production's sake and efficiency and this, you want to make sure it works, Bob. You don't want to leave up to just life to do it. No, you just have to go and do it. Control, produce, pass, make it 100% all the time. And this and this and that and this and this, and then you get semen shipped in, and without you just use the same packet for 5 sows, and this, just relentless productivity. You couldn't wait. What is this person saying? Because why would a person be inseminating an animal?
I'm going to show you a clip.
Oh, and everybody just loses it. Oh,
okay.
Right.
Now, here we go. See, off to work. And all looks very innocent. Okay, he's going to be doing things with his hands that the boar would use his snout.
See?
Lacking hands. Okay.
Who knew? Who knew?
This is the boar has a very odd courtship
this is all just
repertoire.
softball, right? See, and everybody's just losing it.
This is to mimic the weight of the boar.
Well, and look.
You should know the clitoris of the pig inside the vagina. So this may be sort of titillating for her. Here we go.
Oh no! Now he's squeezing it in her. So somehow the pig is just too stupid to know that it's just some bash guy doing it to her. What is going on? All just for that 6%, baby. Give me that 6% extra. Fairway way and all this bash, piglets per whatever. And everybody's just laughing and laughing. Ha ha. Hilarious.
So,
see, look. Amazing. Oh. And now, see, man and pig have become one flesh. And now you're going to get the bash hybrid that now you're going to eat as bacon. Wow. So what is going on? This is all just hilarious to you. Ha, it's just, wow, there's nothing wrong. It just makes a better yield of piglets and this and that and this and that and this. Wow.
And the happy result.
So and exactly, the ends justifies the means. That's all they want you to. That's the take-home message. Because they'll try to brainwash you and say, "Oh, well, listen, guys. Yes, some horrible things were done during World War I and World War II, but hey, listen." Some great things came out of it, and this and that and this, and all the technologies and all the science and all the medicine and all the psychology and psychiatry and bash, and all the self-help knowledge and all the ways of worship of the light were just continued along the work of, yes, sadly dumb, but listen, it's just, no, they were just somehow, not completely, they just turned to the dark side. See, guys, they used the force, but for the dark side, but we're using it somehow for the good side. Wow, no, what a shame.
Love this video. There's a point in this video towards the beginning where they zoom in for a close-up of his hand.
It's like people that think that, white witches are different than, witches. Whoa. There's only a witch. Who knew? Exactly. There's no such thing as Jedi and, the dark force. No. Who knew it's life everlasting, and you have sight of knowledge of good and evil. You're not to, you have to fight evil relentlessly in the flesh. No. You're here to live in truth. You're the purpose. Could it not be that the Creator is the reason and you're the purpose? No. I just have relentless, so many reasons to hate the Creator. and to just see that it's not even true, and therefore I'm here to just make reason and logic and boast in that. What a shame. For truly, the wisdom that was cooked up through reason and logic through man is the sufferings that you are trying to just carve your way out of it now. Apparently. No, but it's just been a relentless, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 5 steps back. This for you and everyone in the world, in the ways of the world. But somehow you see it as just, oh, I won this time, and just better luck next time. Oh, I've never lost. I always hate winners. I always love winners, and this and that and this and this and that and that and this and this, and smashed.
With his wedding ring, like as if to say, it's okay, it's just his job. He really does like women.
No. See, it's just jokes, right? Ho, 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 nothing.
Okay, now I said when I was in Denmark, my host was named Anne-Marie, and I said, so why don't you just stimulate the clitoris of the pig? Why don't you have the farmers do that? That's not one of your 5 steps. She said, I have to read you what she said because I love it. She said, it was a big hurdle just to get farmers to touch underneath the vulva. So we thought, let's not mention the clitoris right now.
Oh, see, now. But we'll get to it. Don't worry. See, exactly. Who knew that, for example, people will be hesitant to do something that they know is wrong, but then they'll do something a little derivative that's the same thing, but somehow just they go along with it, and somehow, whoa, it's not so bad, and eventually they see themselves doing the most abhorrent, sinister things. But apparently this person that's just how you do it, guys. Start, just kicking it in the vagina and just jumping on it and rubbing its nipples, and then we'll get to the clitoris eventually. What a shame.
Shy but ambitious pig farmers, however, can purchase, this is true, a sow vibrator that hangs on the sperm feeder.
So why don't you just get perverts to go and fulfill that, right? The actual people that have sex with animals, and you say, oh, no, 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 no. We need actual family people to do it, because then we know we could just trust them with them, and this and this and that and this. No, nothing. Because who is truly doing the studies? Yes, that intent is doing the studies. The people carrying out are just doing the actions, the bidding of the sorcerer, the wizard who's just waving the wand and saying, this is what we'll do, and you go out and do it, and I'm not going to tell you it's a blind, and this, and you're in control somehow, and this. Now let's do it. Whoa, 6%. Whoa, let's keep doing it. Let's get that percentage up. Guys, more stimulus. More stimulus. There's different regions. Let's smashed. All manipulators and maleficents of the flesh. Yes. Doing wicked things to the flesh. Mixing with different kinds, and this and all this. That doesn't matter. It's just, it feels good. Do it.
Tube to vibrate. Because as I mentioned, the clitoris is inside the vagina, so possibly, a little more arousing than it looks. And I also said to her,
Joe,
now these sows...
Wow, amazing.
I mean, you may have noticed the sow doesn't look to be in the throes of ecstasy, and she said, you can't make that conclusion because animals don't register pain or pleasure on their faces in the same way that we do. They tend to, pigs, for example, are more like dogs. They use the upper half of the face. The ears are very expressive, so you're not really sure what's going on with the pig.
Oh, but you do with children. So Kinsley, right? He had data on children 4 months. The young apparently 4 months was the youngest, and they were doing performing masturbation on them, and it is described that the orgasm, crying was seen as an orgasm, or like clenching or just spasming, Could it not be torture? I mean, what are you? But somehow you read that as an orgasm. Whoa! And children can orgasm so many times per hour, and this, and that, and this, and this, and this, and that, and that. Wow! 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 All justifying abuse, so you can just boast in some conclusion about how, wow, we even masturbate in the womb. Who knew? We're all just here just to glory hole our way to the swamp of nothing.
Primates, on the other hand, we use our mouths more. This is the ejaculation face of the stump-tailed macaque. And
So
interestingly,
exactly. I mean, people laugh about people having sex with monkeys and this and this and that. So they're studying the face of an ejaculation of an ape or a monkey or whatever they want to call it, hominoid, or this, simian. Oh, who knew? What is going on? And people think, well, that's fact, and that's the kind of science I want. I don't want anecdotal. I don't want this bash monkey's anecdotal experience. No, I want the fact of the interpretation of his expression. I want that. I don't want any anecdotal bash of this thing. No. Give me the facts and science and bash reason for it. Yes, I want that. Okay, and some guy wrote this paper about it. Okay, I'll believe that. Wow, lost.
this has been observed in female macaques, but only when mounting another female.
Lesbians and this, right? Is that what they're saying?
Masters and Johnson in the 1950s, they decided, okay, we're going to figure out the entire human sexual response cycle from
Studying human orgasm isn't what?
arousal all the way through orgasm in men and women, everything that happens in the human body. Okay, with women, a lot of this is happening inside. This did not stop. Masters and Johnson, they developed an artificial coition machine. And this is basically a penis camera on a motor. There's a phallus, clear acrylic phallus with a camera and a light source attached to a motor that's kind of going like this. And the woman would have sex with it, and that's what they would do. Pretty amazing.
Wow. Pretty amazing. The woman would have sex with a dildo and some robot half-cooked nothing, and all of a sudden it was filmed. And now we're going to use that to smash you into worshiping this.
Sadly, this device has been dismantled. This just kills me. Not because I wanted to use it. I wanted to...
She wants to... Everything that she's talking about, she either has done, did, or is going to do, or wants to so bad.
I wanted to see it.
She wants it all and wants to see everything. All to do with sex and orgasm and how I can just friction, have you friction me and this and that. Wow, amazing. Studying human orgasm in the lab is not easy because now not only do you need the subjects, you need somehow the quantity of it and just bash, keep it appearing not pornographic. This is just keep it sterile, people. This, come on, just I'm the doctor, so just allow your knees to fall, relax to your side, and this and this and this and that. Okay, I'm gonna have sex with you. That's what Kinsey was doing, and with his co-workers and this, and they were all just bashing. And who knew, just getting people to come in and show them, demonstrate what they did, or to base the data, and this and that. Wow, amazing. And then do experiments on children, this and this and this. And, oh, who knew? Just amazing. Or just use people that abuse children and use them for data and say, okay, how do you abuse? What did it do? Okay, how many children are you going to abuse this week? Okay, so when you abuse these children, let me know what happens when you do this, and this. And so also that batch could just somehow wash his hands, or maybe he was in on it. Of course he was.
One fine day, Alfred Kinsey decided
she couldn't wait to bring up this bash again.
To calculate the average distance traveled by ejaculated semen. This was not idle curiosity. Dr. Kinsey
right? Believe that the more powerful semen just goes up the uterus and smashes through it.
Had heard, and there was a theory kind of going around at the time, this being the 1940s, that the force with which semen is thrown against the cervix was a factor in fertility. And Kinsey thought it was bunk, so he got to work. He got together in his lab 300 men, a measuring tape, and a movie camera. And
wow, see, all laughable, but somehow it's what you worship.
in fact, he found that in 3/4 of the men, the stuff it just kind of slopped out. It wasn't spurted or thrown or ejected under great force. However, the record holder landed just shy of the 8-foot mark, which is impressive.
8 feet. Impressive. Whoa, 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 whoa. Right? And people say, whoa, I want that guy to smack me inside. Yeah, buddy, come over anytime, right? And this and that. She couldn't wait. But what's going on? Apparently that's novel science, right? And this and that and this and this and that. Well, for their time and this and the sexual, oppression, repression. I want to be liberated. You have no idea of what, though. So who knew that just something that is supposed to bring union somehow just brings further separation? To the point of you're like, nah, I'm bored. I'm just going to rub this thing. Smashed.
yes, exactly. Sadly, he's anonymous. His name is not mentioned. In his write-up of this experiment, in his book, Kinsey wrote, 2 sheets were laid down to protect the oriental carpets. Which is my second favorite line in the entire oeuvre of Alfred Kinsey, my favorite being, cheese crumbs spread before a pair of copulating rats will distract the female, but not the male.
Oh, those are her favorite lines of his work? Wow, what a shame.
Thank you very much.
Of course, all the ones that just sound like Mickey Mouse. Oh, he's just so lovable. Oh, smashed. And that's what smashing looks like, and that's what smashing is done. Because this person could be anyone. Because this person just relentlessly just regurgitated what every one of these people already believe, but somehow they see it in this bash talk and they're like, wow, of course, no, I'm right, proving themselves right in their own bash self-fulfilling prophecy based on a false promise. Exactly. For they don't see that they are the purpose in the true promise, and they mistake their life for something to be created when it's already finished. It's already done. So what are you doing? Return to the Father. Abandon the ways of the world. May your labors not be in vain. Amen.